My name is Brian Ang. I'm a director of Social Planning Toronto. I've been interested in the question of inclusionary zoning and inclusionary housing now since I worked for the Wellesley Institute in 2008 and was introduced to it there. So I'm really glad that Social Planning Toronto has chosen to sort of take up some of this work around inclusionary zoning and to organize this forum tonight. And welcome to all of you. I'm glad that we have a really good turnout, and I'm really happy about that. We've got a great panel of people tonight to talk about, or this morning to talk about this issue. So the Social Planning Toronto, for those of you who sort of don't know who we are, our mission is to help build a civic society capitalizing on the capacities of our staff, board, members, volunteers, and community partners, both locally and citywide. We're committed to independent social planning at the local and citywide levels in order to improve the quality of life for all people in Toronto. We're committed to diversity, social and economic justice, and active participation in all aspects of community life. I wanted to just briefly talk about sort of what Social Planning Toronto sees in terms of inclusionary zoning. We define these inclusionary zoning as municipal programs that use the development regulations and approval processes to oblige private developers to provide a proportion of affordable housing within all their new market projects. And what we think needs to go into an effective social planning or an effective inclusionary zoning program. We're aware that there will be lots of debate about sort of how far to go with these things and whether or not they're necessary and that sort of thing. But Social Planning Toronto has identified 7 sort of key points. One is that it be a mandatory program that applies to all new developments. That there be clear rules regarding the percentage of units and cost offsets. That the goal is the production of units. We've seen inclusionary housing programs that have generated land and things like that, but without the programs from senior levels of government, actual production of units has been pretty limited. So we're saying the goal of an inclusionary zoning program for Toronto is the production of units. That in lieu cash and land are exceptions that must be justified. We see setting price points to guarantee the delivery of below market housing. So affordable housing, those definitions again, up for a lot of debate and a lot of discussion about what they mean, but it's below market. You want to make sure that it's below what the market currently delivers. Eligibility requirements for new occupants, mechanisms to protect the ongoing affordability of the units produced, and mechanisms to provide rental housing. Now, I'm sure that, as I've already pointed out, we're going to see a lot of discussion about the challenges around trying to develop a program like this in the City of Toronto, and there are lots of them. But what I want people to really sort of think about as well are the opportunities. What are the opportunities of an inclusionary zoning program? This past winter, John Tory and Kathleen Wynne announced a great hoopla that the Pan Am Games were going to produce 353 units of affordable housing in the Pan Am Village. Okay? Now, just in this past weekend, I took a little random bike ride around the area between the Pan Am Village and Yonge Street. And I found development applications for 5 developments. Okay? You've all seen signs like this. You see them all over the place. If you add up all of these units, we're talking about 3,358 units being developed in these particular things. If we had an inclusionary zoning program that said that 10% of those units had to be affordable, we'd have 353 units, 335 units, okay? And that's just in 5 that I found randomly biking around. Think about the dozens of these signs that you see all the holes in the ground, all the cranes that are going up. One of the estimates that I've seen is that if we'd had an inclusionary zoning program in the city of Toronto since the year 2000, we'd have over 10,000 units of affordable housing. That's the opportunity that inclusionary zoning provides for us. And that's what I want people to remember when we're talking about the challenges. We can't give up because it seems like it's going to be a hard thing to do, because if we get this right, we're going to have ongoing affordable housing being developed in the city.